Zealand, a small island country known for its dramatic landscapes, deep valleys, and crystal-clear lakes. And today, I'm starting my journey from Queenstown, heading toward Arrowtown, a historic gold mining town filled with hidden stories and unforgettable history. I'm leaving Queenstown and heading toward one of the most fascinating historic destinations in the South Island, Arrowtown. A small, beautiful town filled with stories that many people have never heard. This road is one of the most scenic drives in New Zealand. The Wakatipu River, the rugged mountains, and the valleys that look like they've come straight out of a movie. All of them accompany us on the way to a place whose history is deeply tied to the gold rush. Arrowtown may be a quiet tourist spot today, but about 150 years ago, it was full of excitement, hope, and hardship, especially for a group of immigrants we're going to talk about, the Chinese gold miners. In the 1860s, when gold was discovered in this region, thousands of people rushed here from all over the world: Europeans, Australians, and of course, a large group of Chinese miners. But the story of the Chinese miners is a little different. They arrived during the later waves of the gold rush, at a time when many European miners had already lost hope. The local authorities in Otago invited Chinese workers to help boost the struggling economy, and that's how hundreds of Chinese miners made their way to New Zealand. Now we've entered the area known as the Arrowtown Chinese Settlement. This small section of the town is a reconstruction of the houses that Chinese miners built in the late 1860s. Many of these huts stood exactly where you see them today, making them real, tangible pieces of history. Most of the Chinese miners who came here were from Guangdong, a province in southern China. At that time, China was struggling with famine, civil unrest, and severe poverty. Life was incredibly hard, and for many, migration was their only hope. When they heard about the gold discovered in Otago, they set out on a journey that took almost 6 months. Traveling by ship, facing disease, the risk of drowning, and arriving in a land where no one spoke their language. Despite all of this, they came with hope, the hope of finding gold, helping their families survive, and saving enough money to send back home. Life in Arrowtown was extremely difficult for the Chinese miners. The first challenge they faced was racial discrimination. They were not accepted by the wider community and weren't allowed to build homes in the town center or near European settlers. So they had no choice but to build small, simple huts along the riverbank, far from the main settlement. Many of these huts were made from whatever materials they could find, mostly stone and collected timber. The roofs were covered with metal sheets or rough wooden planks, offering very little insulation. Arrowtown winters are freezing, and it's hard to imagine living in such conditions. The Chinese miners usually lived in small groups, cooked their own meals, and sometimes took on extra work like laundry or gardening for other miners. But despite all the hardships, they formed a close-knit community and supported each other as best as they could. Many of the huts were nothing more than a single tiny room. Inside, there was only a simple bed, a small stove, a few shelves, and some basic cooking tools. And that was it. In the evenings, the Chinese miners would usually gather together, cook their meals, make tea, and talk about their day. Ah Lum is one of the most well-known figures in this settlement. He wasn't just a gold miner. He was a community leader, a translator, and someone who helped bridge the gap between the Chinese miners and the European settlers. He also ran a small store, which became a kind of social hub where people came to buy supplies, ask for advice, or simply connect with others. His hut is made of stone and timber, with a simple roof and a very small interior. But despite its size, this little place was once the heart of the Chinese community in Arrowtown. The Chinese miners brought their own style of cooking with them. Their food was very different from what Europeans ate at the time, so they often built separate kitchens for preparing their meals. They used dried vegetables, rice, noodles, and even traditional medicinal herbs in their cooking. Some of them even brought special plants and ingredients all the way from China. When it came to relations between the Chinese and European settlers, things weren't always friendly in the beginning. Many Europeans believed the Chinese miners were a threat to their jobs, which led to a lot of restrictions and challenges for the Chinese community in everyday life. But over time, people began to recognize their hard work and determination. Some Chinese miners, like Ah Lum, even became respected figures within the town. The Chinese miners tried their best to preserve their cultural identity. They drank tea, held small celebrations and traditional gatherings, and some even kept tiny altars for prayer. Many of them saved money throughout the year to send back to their families in China. They hoped that one day they could return home with enough savings to build a better life. But for many, that day never came. When the gold rush began to fade, work became scarce, and many of the Chinese miners moved on to other towns or even other countries. Others stayed here for the rest of their lives. Today, this settlement is recognized as a National Historic Site, reminding us of the important role Chinese migrants played in the early history of New Zealand. This was a brief but real look into the lives of the Chinese miners in Arrowtown. The huts you see today may look simple, but behind each one lies 100 stories of hope, struggle, and perseverance. And if you ever visit Arrowtown, make sure to stop by this place, a corner where history whispers in silence. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and follow along for more adventures.